All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to this week's episode. And I'm super excited because I have a guest on that has literally grown a majority of his real estate business through organic means of marketing and has become one of the go-to agents in his marketplace in a very highly competitive marketplace. So if you want to figure out how you can do the exact same thing in your marketplace, you'll want to stay tuned through this whole episode. Welcome to Business Insights with Matt Milia. I'm your host, Matt Milia, and in this podcast, we'll talk about the real, raw, uncut business success secrets you won't find anywhere else. Follow my journey from entry level to CEO. We discuss real actionable items you can plug into your business right away. To subscribe to our weekly top tips, you can go to www.mattpodcast.com and join our community of elite high-level performers. And if you're interested in our inside sales company, you can go to www.appointmentstoday.com to jump on a free strategy call. And now, stay tuned for our podcast. All right. What's happening, Derrick? How are you?
Well, Matt, I loved the little video, man. That was great.
Oh, thank you. That's the work of my wife and a couple of other gurus within the industry. She does great with the video, and that means a lot coming from you because I've seen your videos. They're awesome. So thank you.
Thank you.
Well, so for everyone who doesn't know you, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about you?
My name's Derrick. I am a real estate agent here in Southwest Florida. Grew up overseas, Fiji, lived in Guam for a bit. Originally from California. My grandparents retired to Florida. Somehow we ended up here and kind of didn't really know what to do after I finished school, and real estate seemed like a good thing to get into. So been doing that, and still doing it.
I love it. You're pretty natural on camera, and that takes a lot. So what is it that got you over the fear? Because, I mean, you've got some awesome videos, and for everyone that's watching as well, if you see his name, it's at Derrick Southwest FL Realtor. You can follow him on Instagram or any other. I believe he'd probably be able to find you on Instagram, where you're primarily.
Should be able to pull it up on Facebook and even YouTube as well. Perfect. And then TikTok too. I'm trying to figure that out.
Gotta get into the TikTok as well. Love it.
It's like just when you figure that you got one platform down, they come out with like 4 more. So.
Oh yeah.
I
Isn't that
the Clubhouse for 4 minutes and I couldn't cut it on that.
I couldn't do anymore. I mean, I got to a point where I was spending too much time on that and not enough time on business. So going on, right. I mean, so you definitely have to find the balance. But going back to that whole fear of getting over being on camera and actually just being outlandish on camera, which is awesome because that's always something that I've wanted to, I always look up and respect when someone does that and they're like, I'm just going to put it out there. How do you get over that fear of someone being like, oh, this is bad, or, oh, this guy's goofy or whatever? Like, how do you get over that stuff?
Yeah. I mean, that's a good question, and probably one a lot of people deal with, which is also the reason why probably a lot of people don't start, is because that fear probably outweighs the potential benefits that could come or happen if you actually did start to do stuff. For me, I mean, growing up, I think I did have a little bit of an advantage because my brother was really into videos, so we would always make stupid little home videos. So that part of it, maybe I had a little bit of a head start than most people that haven't. But it's not to say like there's still times that like it feels uncomfortable, or you might be doing something and you're like, this is really stupid. Actually, it's funny, some of my better performing videos because I do like sketches in addition to like long form real estate listing videos and things like that. But some of like the little sketches that I've done are videos that I just kind of did, and then I posted maybe in my stories, not necessarily in my feed, because I didn't think they were that great. And then they got a really good response, and then I posted them, and they're some of the better performing pieces. So, a lot of times I think, we get into our heads as far as this. I don't think this will work, because you're more or less like trying to create content for yourself, as opposed to, putting out there and letting the audience decide what's good, what they like. And I mean, to get back to your question, you know, it still is challenging. It's still trying to find that rhythm of like, am I going too far, or is this not far enough? So I mean, every day, every piece that you put out, you get a little bit more comfortable. I mean, it's just repetition. You know.
And I probably would even look at it as a subtle art of not giving a shit about what other people
True.
have to say about what you're doing, because you told me something before we jumped on here, and I want to share this, and I think this is really going to be beneficial for folks that are watching. I asked you if you were doing paid ads, and you said no, not really. You don't even have to do paid ads anymore, which, by the way, is amazing. So you've now built up your business to a point where you're bringing in a lot of your leads organically through your videos. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yeah, I'd probably
That's
say
awesome.
about 60%, 60% is of the leads that I'm working with right now are generated through social media and content creation. So it's funny, a lot of times people think I'm just goofing off, but it's like I look at this as a form of prospecting for me. So yeah, I mean it's been really good. And to get to why I got to that point, I was one of those people, one of those agents that was paying money for leads. And
Mm,
I think I told you this when we first spoke. I just got to a
right.
point I was sick of it. I hated the fact that it didn't matter how much I knew about real estate, or about the area, or about negotiating, or trying to help these people get in the best deal possible in the quickest amount of time. It didn't matter how much information I knew. I was still just a random guy that was calling these leads that I paid for,
Right.
and I was still a hole in the wall to these people that answered the phone. And it just kind of, for me, it got to a point, and I did it for a while, like Zillow, Realtor.com, which, if there are agents listening, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, because I did a lot of business through those platforms. It just, for me, got to a point I was like, I can't keep doing this. It's way too frustrating. There's got to be a better way. And that came, like, I need to promote myself, right? To where people are calling me, as opposed to me calling them, and them being like, who the heck are you? So that's what that kind of changed. And at first I was doing a lot of paid ads, and as a lot of this stuff is kind of you know happened and developed, I've started to get in a little bit different lanes, to where it's like, okay, if you create content that people want to share, you might not have to do as much paid ads. But nothing against that, because I think running ads is still important, because you're able to target and tap an audience that might not you might not be targeting. So
Well, and you have to deconstruct this in a few different ways, because and I totally agree with what you're saying. I mean, as far as the leads goes, running ads, going through and getting people to engage and like your stuff. I'll give you an example. There's a guy by the name of Paying June, and this video always cracks me up, because these guys are sitting in the house. He's the guy that does the video work for Russell Brunson. He works with Russell Brunson in the ClickFunnels group. So literally, he's sitting there. They're all in this room talking, and the guy just busts open the door. All these guys are sitting around a coffee table. It's like, "Do you want to find out the value of this house? It's full free." Like, he's talking into like a megaphone. He's like, "Attention homeowners!" Like, and it's what a lot of agents do. And it's not that it's a bad thing. I mean, because I ran those ads before. I mean, most people are guilty of it that have ran ads. But the video, I feel like, is going to outperform that still image, and then
sure.
you're building yourself almost as like a local celebrity in the eyes of the folks that call you and engage with you. Have you ever had people be like, "Oh my God, I love your videos," or like,
Yeah, it's weird. I was in a Publix parking lot, and I had a mask on, and someone um, recognized me and said something, which was like, it was really kind of bizarre. But yeah, I mean, it's sometimes, that's cool. I think, sometimes people might get, like think it's all just like sketches or whatnot. So it's kind of like, for me, still finding that balance of business and also entertainment.
Yep.
So, I mean, I think, which goes to some of the points that I know you want to get to, educating, entertaining,
and keeping them engaged.
Keeping them engaged.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, that's a big balance. But yeah, I mean, one of the things that really made me want to do this, I was at it was probably 2 years ago, is when I was like, I'm really focusing in on social media, a little under 2 years. And I was at a conference, and a guy, and this is literally all I remember from the conference, he made a comment about, you want to market yourself in such a way that people know who you are when you walk into a room. And that like comment really stuck with me, because it just tied into, everything that I just said before, as far as like paying for leads, them not knowing who I am. So, that was the big focus. It's like, okay, I'm now the product, I'm now marketing myself, to where people will recognize me and, know me and feel like someone messaged me the other day, or actually I had sorry, I'm hopping all over the place. I had
No, you're good.
This family that I started working with, they called me and I was working with them. And I just posted a video of this on my Instagram. It's the last video I posted. But I put them under contract on a house, and then they said, hey, we need to ask you a favor. We just put you under contract. We didn't really spend a lot of time looking at houses, but we need to ask a favor of you. And I was like, oh, okay. And they went on to tell me that they found me through one of my listing videos, and that their kids like loved the videos. And it just goes to that point of like, these people saw me, they felt like and she said this as well. She was like, we felt like we knew you. And so it just kind of all circles back to that. Like you're standing out beyond, because I mean, there's a million real estate agents. I think I saw a stat that there's currently more real estate agents than there are listings in the United States. So
It's true.
You have to be able to set yourself apart from, the rest of the crowd. And I think, marketing yourself is, the best way that you can do that.
So did the kids want to meet you? Was that?
Well, what ended up happening, they, the parents, so they're transitioning down, and, they said that they wanted me. So I don't know if you saw, I did like a crocodile hunter, like a Steve Irwin.
That was actually the last one I watched. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, that was more recent. I did that maybe 3 weeks ago. But they said, they're like, look, they watched all your videos. They love it. Would you be able to do a video? Because they hadn't seen the house. I mean, they're not in the area, so they hadn't seen the house. So they wanted me to film a video introducing the kids to their home, because they're having a bit of a difficult time with the transition to to this area. And so I did basically like, hey, this is your new home. And I did it in the same character, like the Steve Irwin crocodile hunter type of a deal. And so I put the whole video together for them, which they I think they liked it quite a bit. So
I loved it. I loved that video. And then the fact that you had an alligator, and then I don't know if it was a boa constrictor or what in the world it was. I'm like, what is it? I don't know if it was a python. I saw that snake, and I'm like, what is that?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I found out very quickly that I'm not a fan of snakes. So there's actually some really funny bloopers that I haven't put out yet, but I'll have to. But I thought I was cool with snakes, and until it was around my neck and it was hissing, I was like, you know what? I don't think I like this very much.
Yeah. I mean, I literally got uncomfortable just looking at that thing. Oh my God, he's going to pick that thing up?
Dude, give me an alligator. Crazy. Even take the tape off its mouth, but the snake around my neck, I was not too crazy about that.
No, that was, and it was funny because we literally, I mean, I was showing my wife beforehand, because she does all my content, and we're sitting there and I'm like, hey, watch this video that this guy did. Like, this thing's awesome. Like, we literally just watched it. It's like the second or third time I watched that video. So,
that's awesome.
I mean, but here's where for you, and this is where I want everyone to really think about, you're doing something that so few people, number one, people are so afraid of the camera. And I always tell people, it's like, look, the way I look right now, the way you look right now, that's the way people see you. So I
Yeah.
mean, it's not, all you're doing is just putting your face out there now in
Right.
front of more people. It's not a big deal. But a lot of people almost get in their head about that. And for someone like you who's now got this mastered, you got a ton of videos on YouTube, what would you tell those folks to try and get over it? I mean, is there
I
a way
mean,
that helped you get past any of it?
you know, and it sounds like so simple, but it's basically you just have to do it. You know, I mean,
Yeah, it's true.
it's like I want to have abs, but I'm not going to get abs if I don't do the sit-ups every day,
It's
or
true.
you know, eat
Or eat a
better.
cheese
You know what
pizza
I mean?
every day.
Like a
Right.
lot of this stuff really boils down to basics. You know, the basics of it, and I think, you know, and I'm sure if I go back and look at some videos, and there's even a couple that pop into my head that it's like, I like looking back at it now, I'm like, good God, like that's terrible. Like not everyone starts out doing videos and they're you know, Brad Pitt or an actor right out of the gates. Like it just takes time.
Right.
Like you have to get comfortable. You know, one thing I heard someone say was like, if you're having trouble just getting in front of a camera, start by just recording videos of yourself talking, or maybe you're in a house. Just even, you don't even have to post them anywhere, right? Like just get into the habit of talking and getting comfortable and recording videos. And then maybe once you get a bit comfortable in that space, maybe you show some of your friends or your family, like, hey, check this out. And you know, as that goes, maybe you do one that you actually post. And but like you're never going to, for the most part, most people are not ever going to get comfortable if they don't ever start. So I think the
It's
biggest
true.
piece of advice is like you just have to begin doing it. And I think what happens sometimes is people try to be something that they're not. So people that are more like, you know, analytic based or more information, like they try to be funny and it just comes across very inauthentic.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. And the same thing with like, you know, like for me, like there was like, I feel like the content I'm more comfortable with is content that has humor in it. But it's not to say that I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to like the details of real estate. But that's just a part that I'm just more comfortable doing. Like I enjoy making people laugh, so it's a bit more natural. But I'll look back at some videos where I like try to be like overly like, you know, analytical, and it just doesn't
Yeah.
come off as authentic. And people see that. So I think there's a
Oh
lot
yeah.
of times people try to do something that they're not. If you're funny, be funny. If you're really smart and good with numbers, then be really smart and good with numbers. And like the saying goes, your vibe attracts your tribe. Like for
It's
me, there might
true.
be some people that are super analytical, and just because of the lane that I've chosen, you know, to focus on, some of those might not be as attracted to work with me. But then there are people that, you know, enjoy cutting a joke, like this family that I did the video for their kids. Like it's sometimes I'm noticing that I'm starting to work with more people that it almost feels like we're friends. Like I can
Right.
cut a
Right.
joke. Like I know for the longest time in real estate, it's like I have to be very buttoned up. I can't make any jokes. I have to be super
Hmm.
serious. So sometimes you're like showing houses and you're like, God, this is just rough. Like, but
Yeah.
it seems to be starting to attract more people that have similarities and that they feel comfortable, because the same with them. Like they're like, oh, this guy is just a normal dude. Like I can, you know,
Right.
talk and joke and you know, be comfortable.
And how you bring somebody in generally is how they expect to be treated through the entire process. So if they saw your video and, now you might be setting yourself up for some failure, because if you're really funny on the videos, now they're like, come on, tell me a joke, funny
Yeah.
guy. And then you're like,
Yeah.
oh, hell, I don't know what to tell them, but I mean,
Yeah.
so so looking at it from a standpoint of, if you're a real estate agent, you're starting from scratch. Do you have do you use like the professional equipment? I mean, the cameras, lenses, all that fun stuff, or like, what do you use,
So
if you don't mind sharing?
there's two parts. So for my listing videos, I have someone that I hire, a videographer.
Smart. Yeah.
But majority of the content that I do and create, which are mostly sketches, because I mean, that's another thing too. Like you want to consistently be top of mind, like in front of people.
Yep.
So I'm trying to consistently be putting out content to stay in front of people and top of mind. So a lot of that stuff I do on my own. And excuse me, I don't make it complicated. Like, it's literally my phone. I'll edit some of the stuff on my phone. A lot of like the graphics or thumbnails that I use, I literally do all of that on my phone. Like, it's not
Canva?
no, I actually
Oh,
have a app, which I know Canva's the go-to, and it's probably better, but I use an app called Over,
okay.
which I don't know if you can, you
Yeah, I can see
can't
it.
see. Yeah, but I have like, I have, all my colors and,
Oh, that's awesome.
there's a couple of texts that like fonts that I like to use. So a little bit more consistency. I don't try to get too caught up in all of that, because sometimes it could just be like a massive time suck. But I
Oh yeah.
do, yeah, I do kind of have a certain look or coloring, the certain colors that I like to use in fonts. So it's a bit more uniform. But yeah, most of the stuff that I do is literally on my phone.
And for everyone that's watching, Derrick's shitty content will always be better than your zero content.
A
That's something
hundred
I always,
percent.
and I mean, because you'll sit there and you'll say, well, this is shitty or this didn't come out good. I'm telling you, your worst video, the thing that you're like, oh, I would never put this out there, blows away what someone is not putting out there.
Yeah.
And I think that for you, that is where the fact that you were able to build your business that way and you were able to be yourself, be genuine, be authentic, and still be able to get on camera and sell houses. And the cool thing is when you were doing that, the crocodile hunters, that video, when I was watching, I'm like, he's actually talking about the house as well,
Yeah.
which is huge because you weren't just sitting there trying to get people to laugh. You were actually talking about the house
Sure.
and getting people to laugh. So you're educating, engaging, and entertaining, which is the most important part of this. You should have like your own coaching group, man. I mean, I'm just throwing it out
Yeah.
there. I mean, people would love to be a part of that because I think that is one of the biggest challenges that people have right now is
Well,
finding what to put out there.
well, so I have, I had mentioned this to you. Like, I also did music. I was in a touring band, and I feel like a lot of the things that I picked up were from, so I was in the band, I played guitar, but then I also, for a good chunk of the band, I was almost kind of like the band manager too. And there was just a lot of stuff. Like, we went through the whole process of, we had record labels, we did showcases, and just seeing that world, of that side of a business and industry, like, it opened my eyes to a lot of things. And one of the things that you just mentioned, it's like, my content's better than something that someone didn't put out because they don't know what they're doing. It's like they say in music, a good song is a good song. Some musicians are like, look, I have to spend all this money, I got to go to this top producer, I got to get, hire the best musicians, and make it insane in order for it to be a good song. But what really, it really comes down to the lyrics and the melody. Like, a good song is a good song. Like, you name a Beyonce song or something like that, like, it's a good song, whether it's got all the production or just her singing and a guitar. Like, a good song is a good song, a good story is a good story. So I think sometimes people get too ahead of themselves in the sense of, like, I have to have all this stuff, I have to hire, a videographer, I need drones. If I don't have drones, I can't do it. And then they never start or never do something, as opposed to developing whatever the story is or the idea is.
Yeah, people they get ready just to get ready, and it's like, what are you doing? Like, just do it. I mean,
Yeah.
and you gave. It's funny because earlier you had said that one of the ways to get over it was just do it, and you're like, oh, this is maybe a cliche thing, but there couldn't be anything further from the truth, because even for me personally with our business, so I mean, our company, we do inside sales and lead generation. One of the things that I was always concerned about was, oh no, if I'm the one that's doing the lead generation, what if I mess something up? What if it doesn't look good? What if the creative isn't good? What if, and then you get in your head and guess what happens? You literally have paralysis by overanalysis.
Sure.
You sit there and you're like, I'm not going to move because I'm too afraid to make a mistake.
Yeah.
And that's the worst thing you could do. So, I mean, you've taken action, and that's huge.
Yeah. I mean, it's
It's everywhere.
literally like you said. I mean, anything's better than nothing, you know.
100%.
And then
100%.
going back to music too, it's like, dude, any of these big time artists, like they wrote a ton of terrible songs before they got to their hits.
Right,
So
right.
I think music for me, it's a good comparison because I think it parallels, you know, even, you know, marketing and real estate. Like a lot of these things are the same. Like, you know, you didn't start out with, you know, this mega hit on the first song you ever wrote. Like you wrote
Right.
tons of terrible, trashy songs that no one ever hears, or maybe that you did put out and you wish no one ever heard. But that's like,
Right.
that's all part of the journey to get to, you know, that place you want to be at. It's like you have to write the crappy songs. You have to. Like you don't
Yep.
get to the great Grammy hits unless you write like the terrible, terrible songs. Like that's just the way that it is.
I remember I never shared this on a podcast, but I remember I remember that in high school I used to rap, and because that was
Yeah.
the thing to do in the early 2000s. And I put a CD out there, and it was funny. I'm like, well, people actually gave me money for the CD. I think I sold like 50 or 60 copies. I was blown away by it, but it was terrible. Like I sit back and I think about it, and like, okay, the beats were good,
Yeah.
but that was as far as it went. I mean, it was just it was just the most ridiculous thing, and it was one of those
What was
things
your
where
rap name?
I knew you were gonna ask Mila the Thrilla, because my last name's
No.
Milia, and yeah, it's the most ridiculous, corny thing. But it was
Miller
funny
the
because people,
Thriller.
yeah, because people would be like, "Oh, I can't believe you just said that." Like, I
That's
mean, I would say the
hilarious.
most obscure things, and I won't say some of the things here, but it was outlandish stuff, and it was like right when Eminem and like Vanilla Ice had
Yeah.
his time, then you got Eminem, and it's like I can do this, like I'm going to be a rapper too, and everybody wanted to be a rapper. It was the early 2000s. Now it's everybody wants to be that entrepreneur.
Yeah.
I guess I keep following trends. All right, anyways,
Uh,
I'll have to self assess my situation at a
Go back
later
to rap.
time. Yeah, right, right. But it's funny because I I can resonate with what you're saying about the music element of it, because there's so many things. I mean, I wish I never put some of the stuff out there, but it's great because it allows you to get outside of your comfort zone. And I wish I could find one of those CDs now. It's gonna bother me, but the fact that you get out of your comfort zone, I think, is everything, because so many
Yeah.
people are afraid to take that risk, take the jump, and take that leap of faith, knowing that, hey, as long as I put forth the effort, as long as I put something out there, it's going to work. And if I do nothing, which a lot of people sometimes I think forget, if you do nothing, you get nothing. You don't get any
Yeah.
results. So, guys, for everybody that's watching, at Derrick, Southwest Florida Realtor, SWFL Realtor. I just threw some extras in there. But for everyone that's
It's okay.
watching, guys, follow him. Go to his Instagram page. Watch his YouTube stuff. It's hilarious. And anything else you want to add, Derrick, that for anyone that's watching that wants to level up on their ability to just really attract people into their business? It doesn't even have to be real estate. Just
Yeah.
any advice you want to give.
Man, I think it's so important, like in this day and age where everything's headed, like you have, like, especially if you're in sales, like you have to be the brand. So I
Yep.
think, um, you know, if you're not, it might not be as important this moment. Like, you know, there's in the area that I'm in, there's some really high, I was talking to a really high end producing real estate agent. He does like 100 plus million a year. Like, and he's an older guy, but he is getting into video. And the same thing, same struggle most people have. He's like, I just feel so awkward, uncomfortable on the camera, but I'm doing it because I know that I have to. And I think there's a lot of people that are very successful in their business, whatever it may be, real estate, car sales, insurance, roofing, whatever it is. They're successful. Maybe they've been doing it for a long period of time. And they're not focusing on building their brand. And I think that's going to hurt a lot of people down the road. And I just think it's so important with where everything's at, like, you know, with social media and all that sort of stuff. I think it's really important for people to make a priority to do this. And obviously it's not the only thing. Like you still have to have all the good fundamentals. I look at video marketing and stuff like that is just one of the pegs in a stool, right? There's other things, like you have to have the other good habits and work ethic and follow up. And but I do think this is a very valuable part of the business and the future of where everything's headed. And to I guess wrap it up in a bow for people that are not comfortable doing it, like, you just have to work on it. It doesn't come overnight. You're not gonna film something, same thing as songwriting. The first song you write is probably not gonna be a Grammy hit. Like, you need to go through the process of writing those terrible songs, filming those terrible videos, whether people see it or not, still do it. And eventually you will get to a place to where you feel more comfortable with doing it, and just be authentic to who you are. Like, you don't need to be me. You don't need to be you. You don't need to be the Manila Thriller. Like, you can be you, and no one does you as good as you do. So I think that's important too for people that do start to do stuff, like, to focus on, hey, who am I? And I'm going to present whatever I'm doing the way that I present it.
I love that. There's a strong closeout, and it does lead me into something as well that I just want to add on top of that. For everyone that is watching, I can tell you that putting out a crappy agent or a crappy business owner or someone who has a crappy product, but they put out a lot of amazing content and people know them and they have their attention, they're going to outperform that person who has an amazing product but has no content and has no. Very rarely have I ever seen it the other way around, because if no one knows what you're doing and no one knows who you are, the likelihood of them coming to you and doing business with you is very low, because there's a lot of amazing companies out there that are grossly underperforming because they don't have content. They don't have face to video. So that is something, Derrick, for you. And I mean, it's funny because you're like, well, I have the fundamentals down, but you could, in a lot of cases, you could not have those fundamentals down. You could be a terrible agent, but your videos are so awesome. Sure. It's like, I want to work with this guy. Like, and I'm going to overlook whatever. I got to work with this guy because this guy's a celebrity. That's how people look at it. And that is why it's so vital for you guys to get over that fear of the camera, because it is scary, but it's where it's at. And especially with social media now, it's everything. So Derrick, thank you so much. You dropped a ton of value on everybody that was watching. And for everyone that is tuned in, see you same time, same place next week. And Derrick, thank you again.
Yeah, thanks, Matt. Appreciate you having me on.
All right. See you, everybody. Welcome to Business Insights with Matt Milia.